Good evening. Welcome to Within the Madness. Tonight it is only the women's edition. The men's return later this week. The women's is trying to catch up. Like we said, it's the round of 32 as of yesterday. Today's the first round to where you get an opportunity to go to 16. So we're going to talk about the folks that cashed their Sweet 16 tickets in. The remainder of the women, the round of 32 will play tomorrow. But as far as today goes, we got a couple of late games. Literally a couple late games that just tipped off a little while ago. Give you guys updates on those. Give me a minute. All right, we got Syracuse and UConn in the Riverwalk region. It's Connecticut leading 30-23 with 2:51 left in the first half. Then we have Stanford taking on 8-seeded Oklahoma State. Stanford's a 1 seed, if you didn't know. Stanford's leading 34-25. They also just a little bit, about 2 minutes and change left in the first half. And as for last night, the late games from last night, Oregon beat South Dakota 67-47. Aaron Boley led the way with 22 points. In the Hemisphere region, UCLA handled 14-seed Wyoming 69-48. Michaela Unyewer, 25.7 rebounds to assists. If y'all haven't seen her play, I would suggest that you get a chance to do so. Got to see her live a couple years ago. UCLA was here in College Park, and they knocked Maryland out in the second round. Here at College Park, and Michaela and company, she was a little bit younger then, but she could go. One of those players that does a lot of things on the floor, very, very hard-nosed, and I'm not shocked that Coach Close says UCLA advancing. All right. Riverwalk region, 4-5 matchup. This one, we told you, we weren't the only ones excited about this matchup, but things went the way that they did. Kentucky and Iowa, Caitlin Clark got hot early. Hawkeyes didn't really look back. She finished with 35.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Ryan Howard led Kentucky with 28, 5, and 8. She did her part, but Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get to that, and we'll play this little clip real quick while y'all do it. Yeah.
Brenda Freeze, you sound like a person that knows what she's talking about. You said she's the best freshman in the country. As a freshman, she outplayed a potential top first-round pick in the WNBA draft in the tournament. She outscored Kentucky by herself in the first half. It's no words for her. She's special, and this is not to poke jabs at anybody, but we've said it behind the scenes. As much praise as Paige gets from UConn, this young lady right here, she needs the same type of praise because she's legit. Obviously, she caught my eye when she gave the Terps some numbers because the Terps guard play is fairly good. You know what I mean? I'm downplaying it. It's fairly good, and she did it both games at their place and at home. She's a monster, man. She can do it all, and she's special. She's special. If she keeps playing like this, they're going to be a tough out because she's just one of those dynamic players. Kind of, I don't want to compare her to him. It's just a run. It's what Steph did at Davidson. They obviously didn't have the talent to bang with the high majors, but he was so cold it didn't matter. You know what I mean? And she's showing herself to be that cold, man. She's special, and that's why they're moving on, man. I don't even need to see any more stats and none of that. Caitlin Clark, there you go. That's why they want.
Right.
Yeah, she disrespectful, man. And we saw Kentucky kind of struggle out the gate the other night, and man, like if I was thinking if they came out slow again tonight, going up against an offensive power like that, they was gonna be in trouble. And lo and behold, Kentucky scored 11 points in the first quarter. Caitlin Clark had 11 points in the first quarter. And like Kyle said, throughout the remainder of the half, she outscored their whole team. So, I mean, if they couldn't score and they couldn't stop her ball game. Iowa, they only suited up 6 players, man. And Kentucky just couldn't do nothing with them. Caitlin Clark, man, special. She going to be a good one. And prayers up to whoever got to play them next.
Well, that team up north that a lot of people love so much, and Praise and Paige, if everything go right, they meet very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. So again, we want to talk about which committee between the men's and the women's woke up and chose violence. It was the women's selection committee.
Yeah,
they chose violence every opportunity they got a chance. Violence, pure violence, all the violence. Oh, you should be a 1 seed. We'll make you a 2 with South Carolina. Hey, Baylor, how about being a 2 with a team you feel you're better than? That was the selection. The women's selection committee was on one. And I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all been following us prior to this, within the madness and everything like that. You've been mentioning Caitlin Clark all year long.
Yeah, you have.
Because again, got it. Cover Maryland, get familiar with the Big Ten. The last person that came along that kind of like disrupted Maryland, where Maryland couldn't really do nothing with them, was Kelsey Mitchell. That's when I realized Kelsey Mitchell was different. Kelsey Mitchell did things to Maryland that Maryland. Kelsey Mitchell, she owned them. Like Maryland ran the division. Kelsey Mitchell was like, but I own part of College Park. So like there was a graphic because Maryland won the conference tournament and the regular season share of the regular season title. You know, the only year they didn't win it in the Big Ten. Miss Kelsey.
First year.
Yes.
I think I came help you cover that game. Yeah.
And I think this young lady has one of those years that could possibly disrupt Maryland in her career as well. Like, again, you don't just walk into Maryland and give that backcourt problems.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave them 29 and a half, and that's running away from Diamond Miller, Ashley Owusu, all the length they have. And no disrespect to some of these other teams, you don't even have the type of people to throw on her to bother her like that. Like, I felt bad for Kentucky. Like, it was literally first play of the game. Not the first play, but like a couple minutes in, I think maybe the second possession. Cesano came up to set a screen. And like Cardell mentioned, the first thing I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, bro, it's Steph with the giving up the ball and relocating. She give up the ball, come back. Bink. Just, it's easy.
Man, she be looking like she going through pregame workouts out there, man.
Bro. And she's a lead player. She's a WNBA player right now. Like, seriously, she's 6 feet. I can tell she's tall and long. There's a reason why she was ranked 4th overall. I had to check her out when she started telling me she was ranked 4th overall in the high school class last year, man. She does it all. Even how smart she is, her IQ, when she give up the ball, she come off a screen, you guard it well. All right, I'll give it to my big man. Dribble, hand off, get it back. Oh, you still want me pump fake? Here you go. Give it back to the big man. Jab, like I'm about to go back around. Now I'm open. I'm pulling up. And she has logo range. So you have to pick her up, but she can handle, pass, rebound, do everything, man. At 6 feet. You know, she's special, dog. I mean, she's special. You know how I feel about Ashley, man, but that's going to be a mean rumble for the next couple years, man. They're going to be they going to be fighting for that first team spot at point guard, man.
And that's a whole nother story for another day because both of them got left off some lists. But hey, 3-6 matchup between Michigan and Tennessee. And again, watching the Big Ten, you know, some folks saw this as a big upset. I'm not shocked for some of you guys that aren't aware, Naz Hillman was the Big Ten Player of the Year. She was Big Ten Player of the Year for a very good reason. Y'all just saw Caitlin Clark. No Ashley Owusu is. If neither of those very, very talented young ladies was Big Ten Player of the Year, how nice could the person is that did actually win said award? 19-15 against Tennessee front line. She different. She's been different for a couple of years. She's been coming little by little, and every year she's been at Michigan, she's got exponentially better. I'm not shocked at all. 19-15 and a 70-55 win.
Defense. I feel like Michigan's defense, not even on ball, just definitely helps. It frustrated Tennessee. You got them pressing. They started forcing them bad shots, and then when they couldn't hit threes to kind of keep Michigan honest, it was downhill from there. Obviously, what you said with Naz, what she was doing, just killing inside and out. It was really no answer from Tennessee, man, because what I'm noticing, not even just on the women's side, but on the men's side, these teams with these long athletic wings, and they're deep with those. They have a lot of those, and they keep throwing it at you. If they don't go away, is what I'm saying. You're seeing that all game. It wears teams out. So, like you said, it caught Tennessee off guard with 7 points in the second quarter for a Tennessee team. You haven't seen that all year. You know what I mean? So that was game right there. And then it was just steady the course. Even as Tennessee made adjustments, got going offensively, it was too late. You know what I mean? And I know everybody's saying the game is going certain ways. That's honestly where the game is going. You about to have a lot of versatile, long, forward, athletic women and men that disrupt things, that can guard multiple positions, that can do everything on the basketball court that's needed. And if you're not one of those players, you better be dumb nice at what you do to get on the floor. You can't just be one-dimensional, two-dimensional more. You got to be a basketball player, and that's what I feel Michigan had. They had better all-around basketball players, and that's why they put out the win.
Yeah, man, they versatility on defense, mixed with Naz Hillman, just like when you got a team that's well-rounded like that and can lock down, but then you got somebody on the other end that can for sure get you points. That's going to be your separation. Like they'll put up that second quarter, they held them to 7 points, but then they could come back down and score. And Tennessee just didn't have the personnel to deal with that, man. And, then once you get down, you need to start, maybe hitting a few threes, but with their length and they closeouts, they forced them into 2 for 14, like they harassed them. And it's just difficult, man. Once you get down on the team that's strapped like that, and then can go on the other end and be efficient as well, it's pretty much game over from that point, because you're gonna need to depend on them to fall off and play for you to get back in the game, or you just gonna need to get super hot, which is extremely difficult against a team to defend. So yeah, man, I was case closed on that one, man. Once they strapped them up in that second quarter, they couldn't fight back.
All right, staying with that theme of teams with that type of length on the wing and just everywhere. Baylor, they're a 2 seed for a reason. You could have argued about them possibly being a 1. That's the thing. Almost every 2 seed in this tournament, you could have made a case for them to be a 1. Again, the selection committee chose straight violence. And some teams are paying for it. Baylor did Baylor things. They played Virginia Tech. Dejanay Carrington, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 90-48. Victory. Georgia Moore had 18 points for the Hokies. If you guys had any additional thoughts on that, let me know. If not, we'll move on.
No, just give a shout out to Aisha Shepard, covered her at St. John's throughout her high school years. She was one of the top players in the WCAC. Did her thing at Virginia Tech, had a storied career there. This is her last game, and possibly may see her in the WNBA, depending on how the draft goes, which is coming up really quick. So just want to salute her, man. The fellas get a lot of shine year round from the area. We trying to get to the point where we are automatic on the women's side as well, not just on the college level, but more so on the high school and pro level, man. Because she's definitely one of the best that has came out of the area in the last few years for sure.
All right, on to the Mercado region. North Carolina State. They ended up in a little bit of a battle with 8 seed South Florida, but Jakia Brown-Turner led the Wolfpack to a 79-67 win. She finished with 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. I don't think anybody here is surprised by North Carolina State, but any comments from you guys?
I mean, it's a constant theme, man. We see a team have a bad 10 minutes, and that's all she wrote. That third quarter, man, it hurt you, South Florida. It was other than that, it was virtually even game. But NC State dug in coming out from the half, and it was a wrap from there. They had a balanced attack, 5 players in double figures. And like you said, Wilson, it's no surprise. We saw the work they was doing the entire season, and yeah, man, USF they fought, but they just didn't have the horses to run with them.
Free throw shooting. That meant that South Florida couldn't guard. They either couldn't guard NC State or they were guarding with their hands. NC State got 11 more attempts and they made 11 more free throws and they won by 12. That's game right there.
All right. We're going to move on to the Hemisphere region. In the Hemisphere region, Georgia Tech, they keep dancing. You know, they had a tough first round game. They got through it. They literally survived and advanced. This time, they chose to return the favor, and they took out it was a 4-5 matchup. They took down the 4 seed in West Virginia, 73-56. Lorella Kubai, with 21 points and 12 rebounds to lead the Yellow Jackets.
Man, this game mirrored Michigan, harassing man-to-man defense. Then they had a big in the middle that just went crazy. Yeah, man, they locked up West Virginia. Esmeree Martinez, she didn't have a good game. Keisray, forgive me if I butcher her last name, Gondrzik, you know, they had her in solitary confinement, man. Like, she couldn't get nothing done. So we seeing the theme here, you know, things that haven't been valued recently in basketball, playing defense and bigs, getting people some wins in March. So I don't know, maybe those things are important, but you know, what do I know?
And also they dominated the boards, which is a part of defense, man. It's hard to set your defense up when you can't get the other team scoring. It's hard to set your defense up. And then it's also hard to get back when, you know what I'm saying, when you're not getting the boards. It's hard to get the ball to score if you're not getting the board. So it starts there, man. So Georgia Tech was just a better team all around, man. I'm interested to see how they do moving forward, though. If they can maintain this, especially up front.
All right, to close out the night, 1 seed South Carolina. They took on 8 seed Oregon State. When as expected, it was 59-42. So we've seen South Carolina win games in all different types of ways. One thing is constant. Aaliyah Boston. 19.7 rebounds, 1 steal in the win.
Aaliyah Boston, and it wouldn't have been that close if they could hit threes. They only made one out of 15.
Mm-hmm.
Still almost dubbed them. So it tells you how dangerous South Carolina is, man. You know, that just meant Aaliyah, you got to eat inside because none of our girls can shoot today. And she had no problem doing that. You know what I mean? So, 50-32 on the boards, the Aaliyah effect. Turnovers was about even, but, I mean, got to the free throw lines 18 times, made 14. Oregon State only shot 6 free throws. That just means they were dominated physically, and they had no answer.
Man, if South Carolina finally touch from outside, it's gonna get devastating.
Yeah,
because they struggled shooting the 3 in the last game, you know, and still kind of ran away with it. Put in, and then same thing this game, 115, like Kyle said, and they won comfortably. Like a few of those fall, the score looks a little bit more R-rated, so to speak. But yeah, man, if them shots should start falling, then I don't know, man. Cancel Christmas. Like that's gonna be tough to deal with.
I've got to do this the other night, but definitely remember tonight. Share your standout players from the day. I feel like this one's easy, but you know.
I mean, Caitlin Clark.
Look, man.
Whatever name is it's Caitlin's day.
Look, man, it's a formality. I'm just going in order. It's there, so I had to click it. Okay, but yeah, all right, cool. See, we got through that. But thank you guys for hanging with us tonight or Within the Madness, the Women's Edition. We'll be back tomorrow because we got another group of teams that are trying to make their way to the Sweet 16. Some good matchups tomorrow night as well. Looking forward to it. And, you know, if Connecticut does their job, some of y'all going to get everything y'all wanted. You know, that page, that Beckers-Clark thing will be happening pretty soon. So we'll see what happens. And I'm here for all of it. Like I said, I'm so grateful the selection committee chose violence because in most of these regions, the 1 seed has a really tough 2 seed that you low-key don't really want to deal with. Or, you know, you're going to have to just being honest, like some of those matchups is like contrasting styles. You know, styles make fights. They chose violence. Selection committee, you did a great job. I need this every year. You did a spectacular job. Because some of these teams, you gonna have to work just to get to the Elite Eight. You gonna have to work, like depending on how things fall. That battle to get to the Final Four might be really who you see, or it might just be wars from here on out, which we're all here for. That's all anybody can ask for. But y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow night for Within the Madness on the women's side of the brackets.